What's up, guys? Fuller with another video. So as I'm sitting in traffic, on this typical Los Angeles traffic, something dawned on me, man. And you guys, you AJ fans are the ones who kind of inspired this video. I have a question for the AJ fans. And I want to know, it's a sincere question. And you can answer it in the comment section. You guys rather see AJ versus Big Baby Miller than AJ versus Luis Ortiz? Just be honest with me and let me know. That's the one question I have. You guys rather see that fight than a Luis Ortiz fight with AJ? This is my thing. Who has Big Baby Miller fought in order to get a fight with AJ? Name one credible opponent that Big Baby Miller fought that basically catapulted him to getting a fight with AJ. If you counter argue with me and say who has Luis Ortiz fought, I'll just go and tell you that, although Luis Ortiz lost, he fought Deontay Wilder, arguably the top heavyweight at the division, until proven otherwise. Arguably the guy who fights anybody who's in front of him. Arguably the guy who wants to unify the belts and become undisputed. Now, me personally, I already knew AJ was going to fight Dillian Whyte or going to fight Big Baby Miller. I already knew it. I knew he wasn't going to fight Deontay Wilder. I knew he wasn't going to fight Tyson Fury. I said it in the previous videos I made. They already were going to fight each other again. So even if Eddie Hearn did make an offer, it wouldn't have mattered. It would not have mattered. They already had a clause for a rematch to begin with. So that makes the fight with AJ null and void for them at the end of the day. My thing is this. Big Baby Miller and Dillian Whyte should be fighting each other when you really think about it. Because they're pretty much in the same position. They pretty much want to do the same thing. They want to be guys who don't have to fight stiff competition in order to get a championship fight. I mean, on many occasions. I mean, Dillian Whyte was supposed to fight Ortiz, but he opted to fight, I think it was Joseph Parker, instead. I think at one time, Dillian Whyte was supposed to fight Dominique Breazeale for like a title eliminator. He didn't want to do that. And he claims that Deontay Wilder is ducking him. He claims this, that, and the other. But in reality, he's the one doing all the ducking. And we know he's the one doing all the ducking. But now, with AJ fans, you guys want to say like, oh, well, who is Luis Ortiz fought? But at the same time, you guys are saying, oh, mate, this is a great fight. Big Baby Miller, Anthony Joshua, this is a great fight. Very big fight. Okay, well, what makes it big? That's my question. Like, what about it makes it big? What, that he's going to have it in the U.S.? That is AJ's United States debut? I mean, people are going to be asking when he debuts in the U.S., who is AJ? You know, I mean, like Eddie Hearn will say, AJ is the face of boxing. AJ is the top cash cow in boxing. But when he comes to the United States, nobody even knows who he is. I mean, if AJ were to walk down Santa Monica Boulevard, nobody would know who he is. If AJ were to walk down 3rd Street Promenade, the only people who would know who AJ was were probably some tourists from the UK. Other than that, nobody else is going to know who AJ is. And here's another thing too. My problem is this. Dillian White and AJ both are just name dropping with no intention on fighting these guys. They have really no intention. And I keep on beating a dead horse. It's just name dropping to stay relevant. He says, oh, I want to fight Luis Ortiz. Oh, I want to fight Tyson Fury. Oh, I want to fight Deontay Wilder. But really, he doesn't want to fight those guys. It's the same thing with Dillian White. He says he wants to fight Deontay Wilder. He says he'll knock him square out. He says he swings wildly. He says he does this, that, and the other. But he does not want to fight him. My personal opinion, just coming from my personal view on things, Luis Ortiz stops both Dillian White and Anthony Joshua. I mean, I'm looking at a stylistic matchup, and Luis Ortiz just has everything that they don't have. Everything that they've never dealt with before. He has boxing skill. He has some punching power, okay? He can mix it up on the inside. He can stay on the outside. He can hit you in combinations. He has good footwork. I would say that if there's one boxer who's maybe more craftier than Luis Ortiz and more unbelievable than Luis Ortiz due to his simple height and how he moves, it's Tyson Fury, man. That's what I have to say. You know, that guy is I want to say that guy is a phenomenon, man. For real. The way he moves in the ring, bro. And being that tall. And that drives me back to my other point, man. It's just like Anthony Joshua cannot handle someone who's like that. That's just it, man. I mean, Anthony Joshua cannot really beat a boxer. Like, Anthony Joshua could not be a crafty boxer like Luis Ortiz or Tyson Fury. Hence why he doesn't want to fight them. He can name drop all he wants, but we know that he's not going to fight these guys. We know that Eddie Hearn doesn't want him to fight these guys. I mean, let's be real. With the Luis Ortiz situation, Eddie Hearn signed Luis Ortiz to Matchroom before. And he said that, like, oh, you know, if we'll give you an Anthony Joshua fight if you sign the Matchroom. But really what his main purpose was in signing him to Matchroom was just to protect Anthony Joshua from Luis Ortiz. That's what the main purpose was. Because, you know, there were talks of step-aside money when he was the WBA mandatory. When he had his episode in Poppin' Dirty, what they did is they just, like, stripped. They put him down in rankings. Mind you, though, Pavek and Pop Dirty way more than Luis Ortiz. I think Luis Ortiz only popped dirty once, whereas Pavek and Pop Dirty 4 times. And they quote-unquote cleared him. But really, I think that clearance was just so he can fight Anthony Joshua, so Luis Ortiz couldn't fight Anthony Joshua. That's why I think it really came down to, you know. In the word world, all Anthony Joshua is doing is basically picking up Tyson Fury's leftover belts and holding on to them. At the end of the day, all Anthony Joshua wants to do is make as much money as possible fighting lesser opponents. The only thing I will say about Big Baby Miller that may give him an edge over Anthony Joshua is his mass and possibly his punch volume. But the problem is with him, he's kind of pillow-fisted, and I don't think he has any power. You know, he's also not really a crafty boxer. So I don't really, the only problem I see him presenting for Anthony Joshua is his height and his mass. That's it. Other than that, I really don't see him presenting any problems for that guy. Unless he can just completely overwhelm him, then I say, okay, well, yeah, you know, he got a shot. But as I said before, and as I asked that question, like, you guys are okay with him fighting, you guys are okay, you AJ fans are okay with him fighting Big Baby Miller over Luis Ortiz? You guys actually think that a fight with Big Baby Miller will be more entertaining than Luis Ortiz? I mean, even the Luis Ortiz fight with Deontay Wilder was candidate for Fight of the Year. With that being said, you guys can, I guess you guys are just content with him fighting lesser competition. I understand. You guys want to keep his record O. You want him to keep the O. It's understandable. But if you guys were true fans and not just patriotic, you guys would want to see him in there with some real live dogs. And even if Luis Ortiz may be older than 40 or something like that, you can tell he keeps after his body. And you can tell he's ready to go. And you can tell he'll give anybody a hell of a fight. His last opponent, he was simply toying with him until he decided to put him away. And as it stands right now, those are the three best heavyweights of the division. Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, and Luis Ortiz. I can't mention Anthony Joshua in that equation because of the level of competition he's fought. And the fact that he's just holding on to belts at this point. So with that being said, that's all I got for now. Leave your thoughts and leave your comments. Let me know. And especially to you Anthony Joshua fans, let me know if that fight is you prefer that fight, a Big Baby Miller fight to a fight with Luis Ortiz. Because you know even Luis Ortiz has came out and said that he's available if the Big Baby Miller fight doesn't fall through. Or if the Big Baby Miller fight doesn't go through. So what I'm thinking is he would be willing to cancel his fight date to fight Anthony Joshua. But I know Anthony Joshua ain't gonna fight him, man. That's just getting our hopes up. And that would be a hell of a name to have on your resume. The guy that nobody wants to fight. Having that name on your resume would be a good look. But we know he ain't gonna do that though. But that's all I got, guys. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Full of Sports. I'm out. I'm Jarell.